All right, let's talk about one of the biggest ideas in chemistry, Avogadros Law. I know, the name sounds a little intimidating, but trust me, the idea behind it is super simple. We're going to break it all down right now.
So what exactly is it? Here's the core concept. If you take equal volumes of any gas, and I mean any gas, and you keep them at the exact same temperature and pressure, they will always contain the exact same number of molecules. It doesn't matter if the gas is super light or super heavy.
Okay, to really get this, let's try a little thought experiment. Picture this. You've got two identical balloons. We fill one up with hydrogen, which is incredibly light, and the other, we fill it with oxygen, which is way, way heavier. So the big question is, which balloon has more molecules packed inside? What do you think?
Now, here's what makes this a real puzzle. We're not talking a small difference in weight here. A single oxygen molecule is about 16 times heavier than a hydrogen molecule. So your gut instinct is probably screaming that there's an obvious answer, right? But is it the right one? And surprise! It's a trick question! They have the exact same number of molecules. As long as those balloons are the same size and at the same temp and pressure, the molecule count is identical. That's Avogadros Law in action. So how on earth is that possible? Well, it all comes down to one thing: empty space. You see, in a gas, the molecules themselves are like tiny little dots in a gigantic room. This space between the molecules is huge. So whether a molecule is a little bit heavier or a little bit lighter just doesn't really matter. The volume is almost entirely determined by all that empty space. And this idea connects perfectly to the concept of the mole. At what scientists call standard temperature and pressure, or STP, it turns out that 22.4 liters of any gas has exactly 1 mole of molecules. And a mole is always this gigantic number, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. That mind-boggling number is, you guessed it, Avogadro's number.
So what's the one thing you absolutely need to remember for your exams? It's this simple relationship right here. The volume of a gas is directly proportional to the number of moles. That's just a fancy way of saying if you double the number of gas molecules, you double the volume. It's really that straightforward.